Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to go a little off as far as away from Disneyland videos. So if you're here for that reason, I may do a special one this coming Wednesday. I'm not sure. So maybe look for that, kind of up in the air on that. But today I'm going to talk once again about timeshare. Now, I've done another video, about 9 months ago, and it was on timeshares and how I got rid of mine, and I'm going to kind of go into that a little bit in case you are someone that's new and has not watched that video. However, I do encourage that you do check that one out as well in case I cover anything in that one that I maybe missed in this one. So today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of owning a timeshare, whether or not you should get one or not, and my journey from the time that I had it to the time that I got rid of it, and kind of how it's gone since then. Okay, so in 1985, I went and purchased a timeshare in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And this particular timeshare, at that time, there was, you got the white, the red, and the blue. So the red was the best, mine was the middle, which was white, and then the blue was the least desirable. Anyways, I went with the white, and I had a first week in January, and I'm going to tell you that it was really good. When I got it, I would go to Pagosa Springs often, a lot of times, maybe every year or every other year or whatever, and I really enjoyed it, and the timeshare there was really cool. If I hadn't mentioned, I did buy it from Fairfield. Later, Wyndham took over and it became Wyndham. And I have nothing bad necessarily to say against Wyndham. So I'm just going to put that out there just because I didn't even buy the timeshare from Wyndham. Now, if you've experienced a bad situation with Wyndham, I don't know. I don't know about that because, like I said, I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other regarding Wyndham, so I just want to put that out there. Anyway, so I bought my timeshare in 1985, and like I said, I stayed Pagosa Springs quite often. The good news is I got to learn to ski, I snowboarded, all that kind of stuff, because it was the first week in January, so there was snow, and had a blast with that. So in that way, it was good. And the maintenance fee at that time was $285, and I forget what RCI was at that time. I don't know if it was $49 a year, not sure. Anyway, so over the course of several years then, I did go to Branson, Missouri. I went to Newport, Oregon. I let my mom use it in Jensen Beach, Florida. And all of these places are really nice. So a lot better than just a hotel. So that's kind of the pros of the ownership of having it. The problem with it is that, like anything, if you don't use it, now you're putting out money all the time, and you're not using it. It's just like anything. If you had a boat and you don't use it, it's not much good, and you got to pay for it. So that's kind of the where I'm at with this timeshare, and I'm not using it majority of the time. Like I said, 1985 is when I bought it, and I had it until 2017. Now, the reason why I got rid of it, other than I'm not using it, was every year the dreaded maintenance fee bill came, and it was quite, I don't know, quite high, let's put it that way. So over the course of many years, the maintenance fee got to be $800 plus every year. And I just got tired of paying for something that I wasn't using. And also my nephew did use it one time. That was another time as well. But like I said, I wasn't using it. So I just got tired of paying outrageous fees that I thought, from $265 to $800 plus every year. And then I stuck with RCI the entire time of owning it. So RCI towards the end was like $99 a year. So I'm at like $900 a year for something I'm not using. So I decided to look into how I was going to get rid of it. Now, when I looked into this, it's like, wow, this is really tough to get rid of. It's like you look on the internet and stuff, And it'll tell you, you'll say some people, hire a lawyer, and some people say, you can go to these seminars and they can help you. But, I got things in the mail a lot. And they would say, get out of your timeshare. But I was always very leery that that would not be the case when it was done. Or if it was, I was going to have to pay a lot of money. And I did not want to put more money into this that I've already dumped money into. Now, I paid, I think it was $8,500 for mine at the time. And maybe in today's standards, that's cheap. But, with all the maintenance fees and everything, that was what it was at that time. So anyway, back to my story, and that is that, so they have these seminars or whatever that you can go to, or they invite you to. And I was just worried that I would eventually, if I went to that, I would get suckered into putting out money, or I wouldn't actually get rid of it, and I'd spend money. I'd just be scammed. So I never ever contacted anything like that. Now, they may be legitimate, they may not, but I would not do that. That's, was my personal opinion on it. So I just didn't know what to do. So ended up that I had heard of Ovation. Now, Ovation is only for if you own Wyndham. That's going to be the downside to this, is if you have another timeshare through another company, this may not work. However, I would still contact your company and see if they're willing to take it back. In my case, I was able to give it back through a program through Wyndham called Ovation. And I believe it's based out of Orlando, Florida. So anyway, I did call the phone number for Ovation, and I went through all the steps and actually got rid of it. Now, getting rid of it, I'm not getting a penny for this thing. I am giving it back. All I'm doing is saying, here, taking the loss, saying, here it is, and never having to pay another maintenance fee again. Now, in the fine print, it does say that, if you get a maintenance fee, you would be required to pay it. But I'm thinking that that's in the beginning, years or whatever of that. So it didn't worry me too much. Also, I had a brother that got rid of his years ago. He had a couple of them. But that was when they were actually paying you a little bit something for them, hardly nothing. But he got rid of his. But that's been several years ago. So it's never been a problem with him either, as far as having to pay maintenance fees beyond once he got rid of it. And I've actually got comments on that on my other video of, you're liable for the maintenance fees if they don't pay it. And I think once it's beyond, and I may be wrong, once it's beyond the initial, everything went through and all that, I do not think that I am responsible. And so I'm not really worried about that. And like I said, that hasn't been an issue with my brother. But anyways, getting back to this, so I called Wyndham and just did everything via email and sent them the information that they needed. And then I had to sign some paperwork and either send it back or fax it back, emailed it, whatever it was. Whatever they said that you needed to do, got it back to them. And then they basically said that it was a done deal and that I would no longer be able to go there. And, normally, when you buy something like a timeshare, you're excited about it. And I was. When I got the timeshare, I loved it. And I'm not saying that having one is necessarily bad. It's just, is it really worth the money? To me, it's not. And if I'm going to go on a vacation, I would rather just pick where I want to go. And if you plan far enough in advance, you can usually get where you want to go. Now, my issue with RCI was that I couldn't get things that I wanted or anywhere near. For instance, the last time I tried to trade, for me, was to go to Disneyland. I thought, what, I'm not using this. I go to Disneyland often. Even if I don't stay the whole week, I'll do a place near Disneyland. Well, when I contacted RCI, their comment was, well, how about Palm Springs? Would that work for you? Palm Springs, I might as well stay in Arizona. Palm Springs is not going to do it when I'm going to Disneyland for several days. It just doesn't make sense. So to me, that was like, that's ridiculous, you know, because that's not even near Anaheim. So for that, I was quite disappointed with that. And I've tried to get other places, and if you just don't get what I was looking for. And the other thing about RCI is when that I initially, was using them, because I got to the point I didn't like that either. You started off with this huge catalog, kind of like the old, back when, like department stores like Sears, JCPenney, and those, they'd have like a Christmas catalog, or even just a regular catalog. They're kind of thick catalog. Well, that's kind of how RCI used to be, and it got to be this little thin thing of few choices to even go to. So it was probably, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of the size, or at least at the most 1/4 of the size of the catalog that it used to be, that had places that you could trade. So even that got worse. The prices got more, and that just got worse. And then the other thing about RCI is, not only do you pay the $99 a year, now when you want to trade, I mean, there were places that I was trying to get, and it's like, okay, if you do get them now, it's like $200 in fees to trade. And if you let somebody else go, there's a fee for them to use it. And that may not apply to Wyndham, but at least through RCI it did. And so it was just fees upon fees upon fees. And to me, I could take $1,000, let's say, and go to a place, that I would like. So I'd rather just stay at a place that I want to be at. And like I said, if you plan far enough in advance, you can usually get what you want. And it would be adequate for what I needed, and probably in many cases less. And you sometimes might even be able to stay at the same places that you're trying to stay at with your timeshare, that you can actually rent out for cheaper. So I don't really see the value of a timeshare anymore. I know at one time they were quite popular. I don't think they're that popular anymore, and most people feel like they're scammed once they buy them. Now, on my other video, I was getting some negative issues, and I think some of it was that some people got a little rude, and calling me immature and all that kind of stuff, because like one comment was, well, if you think you're going to stay for free, that's not what this is about, and all that. And it's like, it wasn't about staying for free. What it is, because I paid everything that I was supposed to pay. I didn't just quit paying on anything and let my credit be ruined. I wasn't willing to do that. I know some people say, well, just, take the hit on your credit. I wasn't going to do that, and I didn't do that. So I paid everything. So it wasn't about, that was kind of a silly comment, because it wasn't about me getting something for free. It was about the fact that, one, I'm not using it, and two, it's outrageous, and three, if I want to trade, it's really outrageous to trade, and all the fees and everything. So to me, it's not worth it. If you're a pro timeshare, or you sell timeshares and you like timeshares, then that's your choice. This is just my opinion, that's all, of my experience, and why I don't think they're worthwhile. Now, if you're in the middle of owning a timeshare and want to get out of it, I do know that there's one person that did do the Wyndham thing because of my video, and I think at this point they're in the process of the paperwork. That's what they notified me of, so I'm hoping that they said everything was going along smooth. Now, the downside is, if you're not with Wyndham, what I would do is contact your resort and see if by chance they are willing to take it back. Probably be a slim chance, but it's worth checking into anyways. Now, if you have a timeshare, you could attempt to sell it on eBay, but some people try to sell them for $1, or, they just want you to take over the maintenance fees. The problem with all that is, basically, you're just giving someone a big bill, and then they're committed to having to pay that. And that's why timeshares are so hard to get rid of. Unless you're really a person that really thinks they're a great thing, I don't think you're going to find too many people that are going to want to buy one. I mean, it's a little different when they go to the actual resort. They get to see what it's like, and they may or may not think they're going to buy one, and then they end up buying one, and now they're into it. Now, the other problem that some of the questions that I've gotten is there's some people that have contacted Wyndham Ovation. One of the last comments that I had, and they're asking me, well, how I contacted Ovation, but they said it has to be paid for. So what am I going to do, or how can I get out of this if I'm still owe on it? And the only comment that I said to that is, if you just bought it, like within 3 days, I believe you can rescind it. You can change your mind basically within that time period, or at least that's how it used to be. I'm not sure anymore because it's been many years ago that I bought mine. But aside from that, most likely that person is beyond 3 days, didn't just buy it. And if they're making payments, I think they're kind of out of luck. And see, with me, that wasn't the issue, and that's kind of what I said. My situation was that, I had it paid off for many, many years. So asking them to take it back, owing on it, I don't think it's going to work with anybody. I don't think you can. I think you're going to be obligated to pay what you signed up for, to make your payments or whatever, and get that thing paid off before you're going to be able to get rid of it. So that's my opinion on that. I don't think that if you either recently bought it or have had it a year or so and you're still paying on it, you're going to be able to get out of it. And that's kind of the stinky part about it all, is that timeshares seem to be extremely hard to get out of. And I don't think it should be that way especially if you paid it off. I mean, I understand if you're still making payments because you did, sign that you would pay for that. I get that. But once you're done with that, I don't think they should be so hard to get rid of. But on the other side, from the timeshare industry, I do understand that if nobody pays maintenance fees, then that's not going to work either, because they gotta keep up on their maintenance on their buildings. And that is one positive thing I will say about Wyndham. They did do a good job at keeping up on the maintenance of them, or at least, the things that they said they were doing. I'd see the outsides of them because I hadn't been inside in a long, long time. But even back when it was Fairfield, they did a really good job too. So, like I said, I have nothing bad to say against Wyndham or Fairfield. I chose to do this, and it's just unfortunate that once you get one, it's like, what are you supposed to do to get rid of it? It's kind of a raw deal that you get stuck with a bill now that keeps going up, 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 up. And again, maybe if you're using it, you can justify that it's going to be good. But even that, with how much it costs, I think it's still too much. So that's kind of where I'm at. But what I wanted to tell you through all this, so my maintenance fee would have come due usually November. I get a bill early December. And the good news is I got no bill this year. So I am extremely pleased. And it's just a weight lifted off of me to get rid of that bill. I've got enough other bills. I don't need a yearly bill that's outrageous, and one that I'm just throwing money. I would be better off giving $800 to anybody and just giving it to them, because I wasn't getting anything for it because I wasn't using it. Now, that not using it is my fault, but being stuck with it, I don't know. It just seems like there should be an easier way to get rid of them if you don't want them. And like I said, there's people that love timeshares, and more power to them. If you love your timeshare, I'm not trying to knock timeshares at all if that's what you want. I'm just trying to give people an idea of, if they want to get out of it, this might be one way. It might only work through Wyndham, because I doubt, unless some other companies have a similar program, you might as well check in. All they can do is say no. So in that way, sorry about the motorcycle or whatever going by. So in that way, it's good. You might as well check into it. You got nothing to lose. So I would say, if you have a timeshare and it's not paid off, it's probably going to be slim chances you're going to be able to get rid of it. I mean, that's probably the facts. If you have a Wyndham one, you still only have a slim chance of getting rid of it. And the reason I say that is because when I did call this Ovation program, there are only certain timeshares that qualify. Mine was a bigger timeshare, and so it happened to qualify for their program. So if it hadn't, if it wasn't one that they said, okay, this is part of the program that we're willing to take back, I don't know what I would still have it. I'd still be paying on it, still be paying on all the fees and everything. And I would be probably like you. I wouldn't know what I'm going to do. Fortunately for me, I did get out of it, and I hope that you can. I hope this video somehow is very helpful and helps you get away from that timeshare if you want to. That's kind of my whole story. If you want to listen to my other video, that was my first one. I'm probably not going to keep doing these, but that one was quite popular. I get questions almost daily sometimes about that, and I don't have all the answers because I can only tell you what I experienced. So when somebody tells me about, well, what am I going to do when I have payment or when I'm paying for it, it's not paid off, they won't take it back. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that because that wasn't my situation. I'm not an expert on this, but if I can help one person, it's worth it. Because, you know, I've been there. I don't like it. I didn't like having to pay on it, and you probably don't either. And so if there's an alternative to get you out of this, that would be great. So that's kind of, you know, where I'm at with this. And hopefully if you are searching to get out of the timeshare or interval ownership or whatever you want to call it, I hope that this video somehow helps you. If it does, please put a comment below. If you liked it or got anything of value out of this, please put a big thumbs up. If you got anything out of it, I'd appreciate if you subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, typically I do things mostly on Disneyland and Disney items. If that's not your thing, I do occasionally do things like this and other things. So you never know what might come up on my channel. So it's still worth subscribing. It costs you nothing. It's not like a maintenance fee. Costs you nothing. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. And I guess that's about it. And I know that some of the people would kind of bringing Disney into this. They have the Disney Vacation Club. I don't know a lot about that. I know it's very expensive. It's probably way more expensive than the average timeshare. I would never do that owning a regular timeshare. I would never do that, even though as much as I like going to Disney, I would never do that because it's going to be the same idea, same concept, maintenance fees, and probably even more. So, like I said, I don't have a lot to say about that, but since I do, you know, relate to the Disney thing, thought I would mention that. So I guess that pretty much wraps up this video. Hope you enjoy it, and if it helps you, that would be great. And I would recommend, though, if you are with Wyndham, you got it paid off, you got your timeshare paid off, you want to get rid of it, I would not wait to call them. And I believe, possibly in my other video, because I don't have the number, I don't know where it's at. So sometimes people will ask me, well, what phone number do I call? If you scroll through the comments, I know it's a little work. If you scroll through the comments on my other video, I believe somebody asked me that, and I believe I had commented to the phone number that you would call. So I don't just keep that phone number. I probably don't have it anymore. So if you need the phone number, go to that video, look through the comments, and see if you can find it. You should be able to find it. I will say one thing too. If you're going to watch the other video, at the end of this video, I will link that video to it. So you can probably will just be able to click on the picture. That's my plan. I'll put the picture up of the other video. It's a video that I did just inside the truck here, just like before, because it's nice and quiet in here. And so if that's something you want to watch, or you want to find out that phone number, or whatever. You can even review the comments that other people have said. It might help you. Some of the comments that people have said might be helpful as well. So I just hope that I help one person. If I can help one person, I've already helped one person, I believe, at least, that at least told me about it from the other video, or at least they were in the works of it and things were going smoothly. So I told them to let me know how it all pans out, and hopefully they do get back with me and let me know, because it does, it makes me feel good because I've been there. I know what it's like. It's not fun paying all that money out. I might as well throw it out on the street or let somebody that really needs it. If I'm going to just give money away, I might as well do that. So that's my opinion. I'm sure I'll get some negativity and comments that aren't so nice on this, but that's okay, because you know what? If that's your opinion, that's fine. If you sell timeshares and you think timeshares are the best thing in the world, I understand, that's your business. But quite honestly, I don't really think that this video is going to hurt you, because somebody watched my video now, they're not going to buy your timeshare. I seriously doubt that. This video really, more so than preventing people from buying them. And that's, I wouldn't buy one again. As much fun as I've had with them, as nice as they were very nice. That's the positive thing. They were very, very nice. Fortunately for me, I did not go to a bad one. So they were very nice. But are they worth it? In my opinion, no. And I don't know. I wouldn't buy one. That's really not so much the point of this video. Really, the more of the point of this video is, how are you going to get out of it? Here's an option that may or may not work for you. Or maybe I'll give you an idea of how you can get out of it. And like I said, I wasn't willing to just give it back and ruin my credit. So that's kind of where I was at with it. So this video now is getting quite lengthy, so quite long. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. And like I said, let me know if this helped. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, comment, all that fun stuff. And hopefully it helps. And if you're into Disney, definitely check out my other stuff. I've got quite a few videos going on. I did just hit 500 subscribers. Pretty excited about that. So hopefully we'll see you next time, and take care, and hope this helps. See you later, guys. Bye.